If you don't mind rain or sadness, Seattle might be your kind of town. I mind both of those things, and it's still one of my favorite cities in the US, especially because there's enough caffeine here to lift you above the clouds into outer space. In this video, I'll show you an efficient, flexible itinerary to help you unlock the magic of the Emerald City in 2 days. This itinerary is based on the relative proximity of the attractions, making it as walkable an experience as possible for those who want to minimize the need for transportation. Our first stop is Pike Place Market, home to a variety of shops and unwanted smells.
This place definitely smells like seafood.
One very popular place here is this line, which is in front of the first Starbucks. I'm personally not big on markets, but this is one of the most identifiably Seattle places to go, and there are actually a few cool shops, so sure, why not? But be warned, just at the edge of the farmer's market is a dark and twisted place that'll give you the chills. At the intersection of disgust and joy is the famous gum wall, though they might as well call this Nightmare Alley. It's unclear if this is the work of many individuals or just one prolific gum enthusiast. And how did anyone manage to get gum this high up? Is this CGI? I suggest you move on quickly, and the perfect palate cleanser is a stroll through Waterfront Park with the Great Wheel. It's not really known what makes a wheel great. Maybe it depends on the size or how circular it is. But maybe, just maybe, true greatness is about lifting people up. Haha, just kidding. I'll reveal the real reason this wheel is so great later in this video when we get to evening options for day 1. For now, let's move on down the waterfront to the ferry terminal. For our next stop, we're going to an island. Say what now? That's right, we're taking a ferry to Bainbridge Island. With round-trip adult tickets costing less than $10, this is easily the best bargain of the trip.
So now we're on Bainbridge Island and heading down to the Waterfront Trail, which curves into downtown. We're on this bridge, still headed to Waterfront Park. Thankfully the bridge is here over this creek. Don't drown, be very careful.
You can enjoy works of art in the park, like this concrete base and this Death Star made by the Smurfs. While there's not a whole lot to do compared with the big city scene, the quiet island of about 25,000 people has its own charm, a chill vibe with its combo of art and nature. But the more time you spend here, the less you'll have for other activities when you get back to downtown Seattle. So let's head back. We got places to go, baby. And one of those places is Seattle's past, with an informative and humorous underground tour to explore the magic and mystery of bad decision making. This city literally had to build on top of itself. Let's just say the history of Seattle was, euphemistically speaking, a real shit show. I actually found the stories more interesting than the visuals of being underground, but in a striking, some would say unforgivable contradiction of what I've just said, this skylight was my favorite part of the experience. By now, you might be tired and ready to just chill out, but if you want some evening activities to do, I have a few suggestions. Seattle has some pretty cool architecture. While the Amazon spheres have become a recently popular attraction, they require reservations to go inside and see the plant life displays. For an architectural display that's less corporate and more easily accessible, I'd recommend the Seattle Public Library, which is on the way to one of my personal favorite things about this city, the Seattle Symphony. Unfortunately, the orchestra was in its off-season during my last visit to Seattle, so I didn't get any video of the venue. But from the looks of it, this stock footage orchestra is also something not to be missed. Oh no, how did my GarageBand video get in here? If classical music isn't your thing, there are other options. Remember the Great Wheel? This is something else you can do in the evening instead of the daytime if you'd like. Not only does it light up like an illuminated wheel, you can reserve a gondola for a 4-course meal on Fridays and Saturdays. At around $330 for 2 people, it's not cheap, unless you're the kind of person who worries about the capital gains tax or something. Still, it might make for a memorable special occasion, because Seattle is absolutely spectacular at night. Day 2 of our itinerary has to start with Seattle's most iconic attraction, the Space Needle. You can go up to the top for a 360 view of the city, but guess what? You don't even need to walk around, because this structure rotates. See what I mean? You can sit down for a meal or drinks at this restaurant and think about how fortunate you've been to see Seattle from both a vertical and horizontal rotational axis. Feel free to let everyone know about it while wiggling your fingers like Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about infinity. The area around the Space Needle is quite lovely, with multiple attractions clustered together. Here's the Museum of Pop Culture with its flaunt it if you got it attitude. But we're headed to another attraction on the opposite side of the Space Needle. Chihuly Garden and Glass is a true highlight of the Seattle experience. Looking at the exquisite glasswork, one can't help but think this would be one of the worst places for a Mariah Carey concert. But it is a great place to point at things. From here, we head to the adjacent Pacific Science Center, which is geared toward children, and full of animatronics seemingly right out of a Chuck E. Cheese or a creationist museum.
Hey, big guy.
Here we are at the Butterfly Factory, my main reason for visiting this place. The physics playground is where they try to convince kids that homework is fun. One unexpected amusement was this laser show. This particular showing was themed with Disney music. The experience of reclining and staring up at a domed screen was quite relaxing, and I struggled to stay awake. I could have taken a nap, but I didn't. These images thus came at a great cost to my happiness and personal well-being, but I did it for you, and yes, I'm keeping score. Before leaving the Pacific Science Center, I encountered perhaps its most realistic animatronic.
I'm sorry I don't have any food. Thanks for visiting me.
Now we get to the portion of our itinerary where transportation is helpful. Cary Park, which is further north, provides one of the best views of Seattle and is a great place to take some pictures. Next, we go to the Fremont Troll, seen here smashing a car. To be clear, this isn't a real troll. It's just a statue of a real troll, who can be heard ambling through the streets far and wide, voicing its familiar refrain. Don't forget to like and subscribe, y'all! Before leaving Seattle, if you haven't had a chance to get close to the water, you could visit Discovery Park. On clear days, you can experience spectacular views of Mount Rainier over the Puget Sound. We stayed at a house just south of Seattle that gave us this glorious sight. With its incredible mix of natural beauty and vibrant city life, Seattle truly is the crown jewel of the Pacific Northwest. And don't be upset, Portland. What I'm trying to say is, the kids' table has plenty of food too. Nummy food, just for you. Boop! We end today's journey with a segment called Travel-Sized Tales, miniature stories for people on the go who want to enjoy literature, but not too much. Jim knew he was in harmony with the universe, because both of them were expanding, especially around Thanksgiving. See you next time. It's unclear if this is the work of many individuals or just one prolific gum enthusiast. And how did anyone manage to get gum this high up?